Hello everyone, have you ever paused amidst the rush of daily life and felt a quiet yearning? A sense that there must be something than just going through the motions? It's a deeply human feeling, isn't it? This desire not just to exist, but to live with a vibrant sense of purpose, to feel genuine passion for what we do, and to know somehow that our time here is making a positive impact. Today we're going to explore what I call the purpose code. Now this isn't some arcane secret locked away for a chosen few. It's a set of understandable, actionable principles that can help each of us unlock a more fulfilling, more meaningful life. Are you ready to explore them with me? Many of us know the feeling of working incredibly hard, pouring our energy into something yet feeling drained, stressed, and unfulfilled. And then there are those other times, perhaps rarer, when we're working just as hard, if not harder, but we feel energized, alive, driven by something deep within. What's the difference? Often, it boils down to this: working tirelessly for something we don't truly care about, something that doesn't align with our inner compass. That's the fast track to stress. But working with that same intensity for something we genuinely love, something that resonates with our core values and aspirations. That, my friends, is the essence of passion. Our perception plays a huge role here. Imagine you're at a bustling fair and there's a stall giving away the most delicious freshly baked bagels, a metaphor for that fulfilling life we seek. Some of us, we see that bagel clear as day, we're drawn to it, but others, they only see the enormous winding queue in front of the stall, the self-doubt, the societal expectations, the fear of failure, all the perceived obstacles. Today I want to encourage you to lift your gaze beyond the queue and focus on that metaphorical bagel, because it's attainable. Transition smoothly to the first principle. So how do we begin to bridge that gap between a life of stress and a life of passion? Our first principle is about sharpening your inner axe, the power of self-reflection and growth. There's a wonderful old story about two lumberjacks. They both start their day at the crack of dawn, felling trees with gusto, and they both lay down their tools as the sun sets, day in, day out. But here's the curious part. One of them consistently fells significantly more timber than the other, even though he takes a full hour off in the middle of the day. The harder working yet less productive lumberjack is mystified. "How do you do it?" he finally asks. The more successful lumberjack smiles and says, "Simple. During that hour I go home and sharpen my axe." How many of us are going through life with a dull axe? We're busy, oh yes, incredibly busy, but are we effective? Are we growing? Or are we just hacking away with unexamined beliefs, outdated skills, and a neglected sense of well-being, wondering why we're not making the progress we desire or feeling the fulfillment we crave? To sharpen your axe in life means dedicating time to continuous learning, to seeking honest feedback, to practicing mindfulness, to taking those essential breaks for renewal and reflection. And most importantly, it means understanding your why. Discovering your fundamental purpose, your why, as Simon Sinek so powerfully articulates, is the ultimate act of sharpening your axe. It's the core that guides every other decision, every other effort. It's what gives your actions direction and your passion endurance. Principle 2, the courage to act. Once that axe is sharp, once your why begins to clarify, it takes principle number 2, the courage to act, forging your own path. Remember our bagel analogy? It's not enough to just see the bagel. True fulfillment comes from having the courage to go after it. This often means stepping out of the conventional line, challenging the prescribed paths, and daring to do things differently. Not recklessly, not by trampling on others, but by an ethical and determined pursuit of what truly matters to you. Now, what is true courage? Think about the elite Navy SEALs. Their legendary toughness isn't primarily about physical prowess or an absence of fear. Real courage, the kind that defines the best of them, is about finding that deep reservoir of inner strength to act on their mission, to support their teammates, especially when they are exhausted, terrified, or feel they have nothing left to give. For us, in our lives, this translates to the resilience to pursue our why, to act on our purpose even when faced with fear, uncertainty, or overwhelming obstacles. And part of this courage, a vital part, is taking personal accountability. There's a historical parallel here. In the 19th century, many women tragically died from childbed fever. Doctors, with the best intentions, would move from performing autopsies to delivering babies without the simple, yet then unrecognized, act of washing their hands. They were, unknowingly, part of the problem. Courage for us means having the humility to recognize when we might be the obstacle in our own path. Our unexamined assumptions, our limiting beliefs, our ingrained fears, these can be the unwashed hands hindering our progress or damaging our connections. Owning this, taking responsibility, is a profound act of self-leadership and courage. Transition to the third principle. This leads us beautifully into principle 3, the leadership of connection, lifting others, lifting yourself. Because our purpose is rarely found or fulfilled in isolation. Consider the wisdom of Nelson Mandela. He observed that at tribal meetings his father, a respected chief, always ensured everyone sat in a circle and crucially, he was always the last to speak. True leadership, true connection, begins with this kind of genuine listening. It's about creating the space for others' voices to be heard, for their perspectives to be understood and valued, before we assert our own. This builds trust, fosters collaboration, and enriches our own understanding. All essential for any endeavor that aims to make a real impact. And as leaders, as colleagues, as friends, even in how we lead ourselves, we must strive to create environments of trust and growth. Imagine two workplaces. In one, like the Four Seasons Hotel Sinek describes, managers actively check in, offer support, and empower employees like Noah the barista to be their best selves, to feel genuine passion for their work. In another, like the Caesar's Palace in that story, the focus is on catching mistakes, on control, leading to an environment where people just try to get through the day. Which environment fosters passion? Which one unlocks potential? The one built on trust, encouragement, and a shared sense of purpose. We have the power to cultivate such environments, starting with how we interact with those around us, helping them find and live their why. Ultimately, the most impactful lives, the most resonant leadership, are rooted in service. It's about dedicating ourselves to something larger than our own individual success, our team, our community, a cause we believe in, our deeply felt why. This is where passion finds its most powerful and sustainable expression. Transition to the fourth principle. And this brings us to principle 4, the humility of impact, the lasting legacy. There's a wonderful story about a former Undersecretary of Defense. He recounted how, when he held his high office, he received all the trappings of status. The business-class flights, the attentive aides, the coffee served in a fine ceramic cup. Later, out of office, those perks vanished. He flew coach and poured his own coffee into a styrofoam cup. His insight? The ceramic cup was never truly for. It was for the position he held. The true measure of a person, the inherent dignity we all possess, is that humble styrofoam cup. True fulfillment, a truly lasting impact, isn't measured by external validation. The titles, the awards, the fleeting fame. These are the ceramic cups of life. The real substance comes from the intrinsic value of the work we do, the purpose we serve, the positive change we effect in the lives of others. We all start with, and ultimately return to, that fundamental human dignity. Remembering this fosters a profound humility, a gratitude for the opportunity to contribute, rather than an entitlement to accolades. Living by this purpose. Code isn't about grand occasional gestures, it's about daily practices, small, consistent actions, Choices made every day that align with your purpose, your values, your commitment to growth and connection. So, as we draw to a close, let's quickly revisit this purpose code. It's about consistently sharpening your inner axe, through self-reflection, continuous growth, and a clear understanding of your why. So, as we draw to a close, let's quickly revisit this purpose code. It's about consistently sharpening your inner axe, through self-reflection, continuous growth, and a clear understanding of your why. It's about summoning the courage to act, forging your own path, taking accountability, and acting despite your fears. It's about embracing the leadership of connection, truly listening to others, fostering environments of trust, and dedicating yourself to service. And finally, it's about cultivating the humility of impact, understanding that true worth lies not in external rewards, but in the positive legacy you create. This journey of purpose, it's not a finite race with a clear finish line, it's more like what Simon Sinek calls an infinite game. It's an ongoing process of growth, contribution, learning, and becoming the best version of ourselves, continually striving to live in alignment with our deepest values. This journey of purpose, it's not a finite race with a clear finish line, it's more like what Simon Sinek calls an infinite game. It's an ongoing process of growth, contribution, learning, and becoming the best version of ourselves, continually striving to live in alignment with our deepest values. My invitation to you today is this. The purpose code isn't locked away, the keys are within your reach. I encourage you to embark on your own journey of discovery, seek your why, lead with empathy and courage. Dare to build a life that is not only successful in conventional terms, but is also rich with passion, profound in its connections, and truly lasting in its impact. Thank you. Don't forget to share your thoughts, comment, and subscribe.